In the year 2026, the United States military operates as the undisputed apex predator of planet Earth. Secure in its absolute technological monopoly, the Pentagon executes a massive, preemptive tactical strike directly against the heavens. Lord Indra, king of the Devas, descends to the front line, brandishing the Vajra, a weapon forged from the spinal bones of the sage Dadichi. In Vedic tradition, the Vajra represents an irresistible, indestructible force. When Indra releases it, the multi-million-dollar stealth fighters are immediately shredded into aluminum confetti. Modern militaries are bounded by the laws of physics and the constraints of supply chains. The Hindu pantheon employs Astras, mantra-activated celestial weapons that treat physical laws as mere suggestions. Within the first hour of contact, the world's superpower is effectively outmatched. Staggered by the loss of air superiority, U.S. commanders pivot to swarm tactics. They deploy thousands of AI-governed drones and heavy ground divisions, attempting to overwhelm the deities through sheer mass. This sudden escalation draws out Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe. To counter the massive troop concentrations, he invokes the Narayanastra. This chart maps the Narayanastra. The y-axis, representing incoming fire, multiplies exponentially based on x-axis resistance. Firing back accelerates the slaughter. Survival requires total surrender. The attack halts only when military resistance hits absolute zero and troops drop weapons. Against a human army, aggressive doctrine wins battles. Against the Narayanastra, conventional courage becomes a suicide pact, leaving elite forces with no choice but to bow in the dirt just to survive. The U.S. military attempts a desperate pivot to precision-guided munitions aimed at Vishnu himself. Every warhead is intercepted by the Sudarshana Chakra. The Sudarshana Chakra is a serrated disc featuring 10 million counter-rotating spikes that move at the speed of time. It expands until it eclipses the sun, plunging the battlefield into total darkness. Blinded and cornered, the U.S. president authorizes the use of the ultimate human weapon. Thermonuclear missiles are immediately launched, representing the absolute ceiling of man-made destruction. Lord Brahma, the creator, responds by invoking the counterweapon to all life, the Brahmastra. This chart contrasts the fallout durations. While a nuclear strike ruins a city for several decades, the Brahmastra permanently dries up the surrounding oceans and prevents a single blade of grass from growing for 37.32 trillion human years. These numbers show that humanity's most terrifying weapons of mass destruction are insignificant compared to the cosmic timeline of mythological devastation. Most of the human forces have surrendered, but the U.S. military's autonomous systems remain active. An isolated, high-altitude drone continues its programming, firing a last-ditch missile that triggers Lord Shiva's wrath. Shiva unleashes the Pashupatastra. It is a mental missile that requires no physical projectile. It is discharged by the deity's gaze or a single angry thought, instantly incinerating the remaining automated hardware. Realizing that the American war machine is incapable of yielding so long as its code exists, the deities decide to make a permanent example of the civilization. They escalate to the highest tier of Brahma's arsenal, the Brahmastra. Upon activation, the Brahmastra retroactively annihilates the target's entire existence, erasing the military force from the past, the present, and the future timelines. This produces a total logical paradox. Because the United States military has been erased from all timelines, no human being can remember, imagine, or even comprehend the war that just occurred. Modern warfare attempts to destroy infrastructure and logistics. Hindu mythological warfare destroys concepts and the very fabric of time. When faced with a multi-armed deity, the only winning move is to apologize and run.